Alright, it is time for TBR video. Hey everyone, it is Shannon and I'm super excited to be here today and to share with you this video. This is going to be my first TBR for 2022 and I am so excited about it. I have created a new system of how to create my TBRs and I'll leave an explanatory video up above for you to check out. But the basic gist of it is that I'm going to focus on reading shorter works. I'm going to focus on reading works that are 300 pages or less. And so what I've done is I've taken all of the titles on all of the various different book lists that I have, plus all of my owned books that fit any projects or challenges that I'm working towards. I've taken all of those titles and I have split them into titles that are 300 pages or less or 300 pages and more. 300 pages and more, I'm not working, I guess 301. There are some ones that push-pulled, but for generally speaking, 300 pages or less are titles that I'm going to be working with for my TBRs. Anything more than that, we're going to leave for later. Then what I decided to do is I split them into 4 different big bucket genres. I'm going to have nonfiction as one category, then romance, then speculative fiction, so any kind of speculative fiction, science fiction, fantasy, urban fantasy, horror, and then I'm going to have one for realistic fiction or literary fiction or everything else. Now, all things being ideal, I would be sitting here with you with 4 TBR jars, but as it happens, I haven't had time to create them yet, so we're going to do just a very like make it work kind of situation, because generally speaking I don't even film in January, so I wanted to have a video to start things off. So we're gonna do this in the way in which I can do it, which is I have a list here for all of the titles that I picked, and I have 10 titles per each. I forgot to say this. To start the year off, I am giving myself I will do a TBR jar, I just haven't created them yet. I had time to either do the video or create the jars, so we're doing the video. And so each of the jars will have 10 titles. In those 10 titles, I will have whatever the shortest book is of that genre, one title that I chose specifically, and then I randomized the remainder of the title and just sort of had like a variety of each. So I don't have the actual, so as I said, I don't have the jars, but I have a list. So we're gonna make it work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use the Tiny Decisions app, which actually does have a random number generator. It's at the bottom, it says 42. So you click 42 and then it asks you the range and how many titles. So this says 1 to 1, so that's obviously not enough. We're working with 1 to 10. 1 to 10, and then I wanted 4 titles. So yes, this is what I want. And then generate random numbers. Okay, so we have 3665, is that what it says? 3665, so I'm going to go in the order in which I said the genres. So for 3 is nonfiction, so 1, 2, 3, yes! Okay. Sorry, I should have waited and had that. Okay, so I will be reading Understanding Comics by McCloud. This is a very recent purchase that I saw from Laura the Manga Hoarder, as well as Jen from Remembered Reads mentioned this, and I picked this up in the fall, and I'm so excited, nonfiction art. So that will be my first nonfiction to read in 2022. Hey! Well, I might finish something before then, but that's the first on my TBR. So 3, 6. So the next one I said was romance, right? Is that what I said? Yes, romance and then speculative. Okay, so the 6th romance that I picked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay, so we're gonna have, this is a bit of a challenge. Okay, I didn't mean to have any challenge. I wanted to have no barriers to access on this, but doesn't have a barrier to access. It's available at the library, but it does have a challenge. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so Dead Until Dark by Charlaine Harris. This is the first book in the Sookie Stackhouse series. The challenge with this one is that, I have read it. I've read the first 3 books, and I think I've seen the first 3 seasons of the show. So my challenge with this is I get stuck between, do I want to watch the show? Do I want to finish the show? Do I want to get back to reading the series? Do I want to reread the series? What do I want to do? So I haven't made that decision. I will have to figure out what I want to do. So this is a reread, and I know the first season pretty well. So, you know, I will. Wow, I did a drat. Okay, well, okay, it's a challenge. Is this a book series, both TV and film, TV and book series? I want to figure out what I want to do. So that is my goal. Figure out what I want to do. Is it reread this? Is it go to the show? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so that's a bit of a mystery. I didn't mean to have mysteries. Okay, so 3, 6, 6, 5. So the second 6 is speculative fiction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I have to find it. I'm actually really excited about this. Oh, did I put the title? Okay, yeah. Okay, so Conan the Barbarian, and I think it's The Phoenix and the Sword. Yeah, The Phoenix and the Sword. So Conan by Robert E. Howard, and Until Dawn is Dead Before Dawn. Dead Until Dark is by Charlaine Harris. I don't think I said that. All the titles will be down below after a spoiler buffer. So this is the Phoenix and the Sword is the first in the Conan the Barbarian series. I'm using a list from Wikipedia to figure out where to start because there are a lot of Conan titles. Conan. I don't hear too much of a difference, even though I know I said it both ways there, right? Conan. Yeah, I have a hard time. I can't hear it. Anyway, so I'll be reading The Phoenix and the Sword. This is the shortest title. It is 40 pages. You think I can manage it? You think I can manage it? I think I can manage it. It's also public domain, I'm pretty sure, and it's on Scribd. That's how I'll be reading it, is on Scribd. There's a lot of some omnibuses. It was a bit of a challenge to figure out where to start with this one. It is on my sci-fi, fantasy, and weird list. I didn't say where any of this stuff was from or the page counts. I will do a recap, but now I want to know what the last title is. So 3665, 5 is the last one, and it is literary fiction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Awesome. So Confessions by Canny Minato. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. The riveting international sensation that inspired the Oscar short-listed foreign film. So, wow, this was made. I knew it was booked to film. I didn't know it was Oscar shortlisted. Oh, shortlisted might not be nominated. But that doesn't mean it isn't awesome. Where's the translator? Okay, translated by Steven Snyder. So, oh yeah, okay, so I'm really excited to read this one. I think it's about a teacher. I don't want to read the back. I don't know if it's mystery or thriller, but I think it's one that I don't want to know too much about the plot. So anytime I've mentioned it in a video, I've gotten a fair amount of like, ooh, from people that I really trust their responses. Is that a weird thing to say? So anyway, so I'm super excited about this. So let's do things backwards with the page count and where they're from. So this is, I turn the page. This is 234 pages, and this is an owned unread book, a translated work, and a book to film adaptation. And then Conan. Jeez, I mean, like, I've watched the movie a million times. Okay, so this is 40 pages, and the Conan the Barbarian series is on my sci-fi, fantasy, and weird exploration list. And then Dead Until Dark is... Sorry for all of the noisiness. This is 292 pages. So this is at the far end. This is almost 300 pages, and that's actually an estimate from Goodreads. And it is the first in the Sookie Stackhouse series. It is by Charlaine Harris. It was made into the TV series True Blood. The reason why it's on my list, though, it was one of the later books in this series is a book on the Vaginal Fantasy Book Club list. But honestly, I do also want to just resolve whether I want to read the books, watch the TV show, in which order. Initially, what I was doing was watching a season and then reading the book. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll watch the first season of True Blood and then read the book. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I've already solved the problem. That would be awesome. And then the first pick was my nonfiction pick, which was Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud, and this is 215 pages. So I think that feels very reasonable. We have 215, 300, 515 plus 40 for Conan, 255, and then Confessions is 234. I lost it somewhere in there. 223, I don't know, 800 pages, somewhere in there. Maybe 900. Anyway, so those are, and that's, I'm thrilled that it's a combination of different, we have 2 physical books, one from the library, so I'll have to see if it's available, and then, I might actually, I think I own it, but it's tucked away. It's tucked away. And then one, Conan is public domain. If I can find that story public domain, I'll put it down below. Otherwise, I'll put just the author's listing on Project Gutenberg. I'm pretty sure his work is public domain. So there you have it. That is how I'm going to start off the year. I am thrilled. These are wonderful selections and a nice variety here. We have paranormal romance, urban fantasy, sword and sorcery, nonfiction art, and I guess this is the literary, this is the from the literary category. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. International sensation fiction. So yeah, so there we go. Let me know out of these 4, which would you pick first? Yeah, I am so excited. Here's to an awesome 2022 with lots of great reading ahead. Thank you so much for watching.